Cheryl was molested by her father for 4 years, and as you can imagine, that was a very traumatic experience for her, and it caused a lot of internal turmoil in her life. And when her father died, she continued to hate her body. She continued also to hate the fact that she was female, because that was the reason she was molested in her mind, even though that really wasn't the reason. And because of that, she had a very strong hate for her body. She had a lot of internal pains, emotional pain. And one of her friends introduced her to cutting. And actually what they did is they slit their wrist to be blood sisters. But when she slit her wrist, she felt this rush, adrenaline rush, and she started to cut herself. And Cheryl noticed that the more she cut herself, the more distracted from her internal pain she became. So she became a cutter. And to her, it was a way for her to take her internal pain and externalize it and give her a way to care for it. She can bandage the wounds. She can see the blood and see that that's what was really hurting her on the inside, when in fact that really wasn't the case. But that was the deception of the cutting. She cut herself on both her arms really bad, and even to the degree where she took a hot spatula and heated up the whole spatula, made it red hot, and placed it on her arm to try to make her whole arm be one scar. And she would hold it there until her nerves couldn't feel it anymore. It's horrible. But what she was actually doing was she was externalizing an internal pain. A lot of times we have something going on in our heart. We distract it by drinking, by doing drugs, or by eating, or doing some addictive behavior that is really just a distraction from the real issue. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus goes to the Gadarenes, and there's a demon-possessed man in the tombs, and he's cutting himself, and he's breaking chains. And he goes to Jesus, and the demons inside start speaking to Christ, and what Christ does is he tells the demons to go into some pigs, and they run off the hill. And then the guy who was crazy, cutting himself, breaking chains, running around naked, was all of a sudden sitting there calm, because Jesus spoke to the real issue. It wasn't the cutting. It wasn't the violence. It wasn't running around naked or screaming. It was the internal pain and spiritual conflict this guy had. In that case, it was demons. I want to encourage you. You may be exhibiting some outward expression of frustration in your life. You may be drinking. You may be having fits of rage and anger, trying to kill yourself. But the real issue is something on the inside. Allow Christ to speak to your inside. Allow Christ to speak to your spiritual turmoil and your spiritual conflict. Allow him to minister to you, and ask him, Lord, talk to me. Heal me, forgive me of my sins, cleanse me of my sins. Ask God to send someone into your life that can look past what's going on the outside and deal with the inside, because what's going on the inside is really who you are. That's where the real conflict is. Go do something about what's going on in your heart, and watch everything else in your life take care of itself. God bless you. Do something today for you.